friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm here working on my journal Mamacitas that you probably already know, and if you don't, I'm gonna link the playlist down below this episode. So the idea for this video was to make something to place inside this beautiful pocket I placed on this page. So I came up with an idea of making a trifold. But what happened in the making was that I came out with a trifold and then having an extra page down here. So the first thing I did was I cut this cardstock out of a booklet of scrapbooking, and I cut all the inner part of the paper I'm using to cover the inside of the trifold. I cut some images and pieces of pages from this amazing book. This is all I have left already because it's so beautiful. The pictures look like water paint done, and I really love it, and every detail is wonderful. Look at that bird like holding a little branch or something. So I came out with that to cover the inside, and then I have these from a magazine, and it was about hummingbirds. So actually I'm gonna name the thumbnail for this video "We've Got Company." And so it talks a little bit about how hummingbirds come into your garden. They usually fill a red plastic feeder with sugar, so you can do it around May. So this is coming for next month. So as you can see, I cut this hummingbirds from these empty places here. So this is what I have so far, and I fussy cut them, and I glue one here and another one on this part here and the third one over here. So this is the final result. What I need to do now, and as you can see here, I have a little detail. So this also came from the same book, so from one of these pictures here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this distress ink in order to cover like the borders or the edges, or make it look a little bit more like getting rid of that white all the way around. And that's what I'm going to be doing now. I'm going to be doing like in every one of the pages. I'm going to pass this vintage photo distress ink, and as you can see, it changes immediately. You see the change? It's really cool. Also, I can do it like in the center of the pages, like for a little bit more of vintage look, and also to make this white to become less noticeable. So I'm gonna do it like so, and also like this. And then as a second part for this video, I'm gonna do, or I'm going to make another trifold with this page, like movable, let's say, or working page that you can flip and open and close, so you can see and follow all the steps to making it. This is really easy. The only thing that makes you love it so much is the theme or the topic that you choose for your foldable. Here I need to add a little bit more of glue, so because the little wings, you know, the hummingbirds are super delicate, even in real life, like in nature, as in here, because they're really thin. Look at that beak, isn't it? So this is what I have, and now I'm gonna pass it also into the cover. So this tiny place here, and yeah, it changes immediately. So we can go here, also go in here. All right, and so you'll see that it looks totally different, and let's take a final look at it. Yeah, so in order for this to have a little bit more of meaning, what I can do is I can always go ahead and look for a sentiment or quote. I think that is the missing part for this, and I was thinking to have this probably live or have my, let me see, what else do I have here? Let me check in here. Be in nature. That would be cool. Be in nature. Think of a ritual. Go over your clock, get up. So these are tips for sleep more. What about less stress or stress less? Walk outside, cancel something. I guess I'm gonna have this one, be in nature. So I really like it. And it's gonna be in black with a green background. So I think that this one is perfect for the cover. And this is all. And yeah, I'm gonna glue it probably in front. Remember that the journal has a lot of green, and actually it doesn't have like too much vintage look. It's very colorful. I'm gonna show it to you in a moment. Like for example, you can see here that I have orange, I have green, more green. So this will be very, very good because it matches perfectly with the color of the journal. Be in nature. I think I went too close to the bottom, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to miss this because I like it too much. So let me go in here and let's glue it in or on the cover of my trifold. It's very, very thin. Remember, you can always use a brush or something. And so we're gonna go and put it probably here. Be in nature. And as the journal is Mamacitas, how can you be a Mamacita? Being in nature, that would be something good to do. It's a good plan. Sounds like a good plan to do, right? So I can put it here, and that will be the result for today's snippet moment, And then I'm going to show you, like, if you need to do this from the beginning or since the beginning, the first thing you need to do is to find a paper that is long enough, like from here all the way down there. And then you need to mark with or trace it with a pencil. And let's do it here. And then it's not hard. It is very simple. And then you need to cut. This will be a little bit more into the vintage vibe or nude or neutral colors, because this is brown paper. This comes from a paper bag. Actually, it was a packaging. So this is what I have so far. All right, now we're gonna fold it, and let's do it right here. So we're gonna fold it through matching the little loops of semicircles here, and then you close it. If you want to have the same page that flips inside, then this part here needs to be double. So when you cut the pages, make sure that you have two of these loops. And over here I have a picture, always following the theme of plants. So I cut it like in the same length, same thing. And I can just place some glue in here. Or if you want to keep it like neutral and a little bit like with a vintage touch or something, don't add any colors. Actually, that was what I was going to do. I don't want to change like my plan, so I'm not gonna use this. I'm going with this. So, and it's a little bit shorter than the whole page. So I'm gonna go in here. So this is going to be the separate page for here, for this part. And now I need to look for something to cover these two parts. Let me see what else do I have around here that makes me be makes me have this. So I'm gonna show you. I also have this book that is amazing. Comes with beautiful meditations and insights from heavens about angels and everything. So what I've been doing is I have been sketching some flowers in here. So we can probably use this rose, but this is going to be horizontal. I need it to be vertical, and this is not enough for 2 pages. Let's see, because in here, if you notice, I needed to add this little piece here, so this wasn't enough for the fold, so I added, and as you can see here, you can see a little crevice there, but I like the results anyway, and I'm gonna do the same probably with this one. Let me measure. The rose is too big. What about having this orchid? I love this part, and then the angel. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add a tiny piece just in case if it's not enough. If the length is not enough, I'm going to just add something else there. So, and as you can see, I'm not cutting anything. I'm just going and gluing the whole image that I want, making sure that it has the height that I want for it. Let me just trim this tiny bit so I get rid of those rib parts, and now I'm going to go in here. So I drew that orchid and it is almost perfect here, and yes, we can always add a tiny piece here. That tiny piece can be in the same color, or can be this an angel reminder. A question is a request for information or a quest for an answer. So now I'm gonna cut this. Let's flip it like upside down. Then I'm gonna go in here and going around. Right now the glue is fresh, so it looks like a little bit wobbling, but it's gonna be sturdy as soon as it gets dry, right? So yes, and then we have here stamina, your question. What about having your question or just having this little part here? Yeah, empty, and then we have everything in the same tones. But I'm just remembering that we wanted to have this page, you see, so I needed an extra page here so I can do the flip. Oh no, 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 no. What about if I just have this on the outside? There is always a solution. So yes, I know what to do. I'm going to have this for the outside part, and then I'm going to make the inner part. There, here, let me got that. All right, so this is going to be the outside. Let's close this. All right. Yes, so the inside is this one. So I need a double for this part, and I need 1, 2, 3, and 4 is going to be the flap that is going to be moving back and forth. So I'm planning to make it, let me see, what do I have around here? And this is coffee dyed paper. I can probably use, let's keep going in a music theme, so I can just glue this over here. And I want to do the double, so this is going to be like so. Actually, I'm gonna get the clefts, and so I can put it here. And then this is gonna be separate. All right, let me see if I'm not mistaken. So I need to have the page that is going to go back and forth inside the trifold, and then the other lonely page. Let's call it a lonely page. Yeah. So I'm planning to have this to open and close. So this means that I need to fold it here, separate it from here, and glue it here. So this is what I'm going to do. And remember that you can always trim this at the end of the project, so you can make sure that you have everything aligned and you don't have like extra paper going anywhere. So this is my page, goes back and forth, and here I need something else, so I can have this here. Actually, I need to trim this a tiny bit here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with this. And you know what? Or I'm gonna have an angel in the very center of my trifold. And I'm gonna have this music paper right there. Right here. All right. And now let's look for an angel. I have like summer sounds. I can probably place this on top when I have it almost ready. And I want something like this. This will be a beautiful, beautiful angel to place here. So let me see if it has the height. And I want, this is like going, this is beautiful. I did this orchid. I wanted that, I want this one that is coming like falling just in place. So it's not gonna be in the center because that's the edge of the book, but so I can always use my ruler. Okay, I hope it works. There. I'm going to leave it in the same book just in case I need this. You know that every piece counts, you know? Even if you have a tiny piece of paper, sometimes it can save your ephemera. And let me know in the comments what do you think about this I just said. Every tiny piece of paper counts because sometimes it can save your ephemera. It can give your page a beautiful touch. You never know. All right, so I'm going to place the angel here. I love the way it looks. And then here, let me see, what was that page about? Let's read about that page. So your prince, a great cartoon, let me see, an angelic, because I possess the mental and spiritual tools to create future happiness. I already have everything. I need to create happiness in the present. All right, so and then here in the back, I am focused on my bliss and my purpose. What do you think is better? I think this one. The one about happiness is also really nice, but I'm going to use this quote here because it's basically because it's shorter. It is shorter. So I'm gonna just cut it like so. And let's find a place to glue it. Let me just cover this here. Now let's trim all this. I'm not gonna use this summer sound probably for the external part. So let me see what is going on here. So we have the inner part. So this is the page that moves back and forth. I need to add a little bit of glue there. And then I have these parts And so what is going to be the cover? The cover will be, well, in this case, it's going to be this angel. But it happens to be like the thing that I added, like this little piece is right here. Should I cut that? Let me see. We could just leave it like that and add it a little bit of vintage photo. So let me just trim this out so we don't have anything extra on any of the sides. Here. Okay, let me go in here. I need to go here. Right, and I have a tiny piece popping up from here, there. So this is what I have so far, the center, that, and this. I am not very comfy with this cover, so what about if I add, yes, I'm gonna add the reflection here. And the reflection says that I am focused on my bliss. So what I'm going to do, let me see if I can remove this, or I can just glue it on top of this, doesn't matter. So yes, I don't want to see these two colors here, so let me just go ahead and glue this part. As you can see, I'm always gluing first and then cutting. Angelic reflection, bliss, and all right, so they much better, much better. Then I go here, I trim this. Oops. Really cool. I love it. An angelic reflection. I'm focused on my bliss and my purpose. I really like it. And then I have an angel. Then I have this page. I have another page here, another page, and then this. So my trifold allows me to work on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. So I have space to work on all that amount of pages. Here I have like 3 little angels. Can you see the 3 beautiful faces there? So let's glue this somewhere. Let's glue these beautiful creatures around here. But before that, let me add the vintage photo distress, so we can always give it a beautiful effect, like a vintage beautiful effect. So this is my previous booklet, my trifold, and this is the one I'm making for you, so you have it here in my episode. Of course, the second part would be like embellish the whole trifold. This doesn't need too much color because remember I told you I coffee dyed this, and it has already a beautiful vintage brown. So the pages that need something else, where the pages coming from the angel books, like this one, see, is more clear. So I'm just gonna go here and make it more into a vintage photo color. Really nice. I really like it. I like it too much. So here I have another piece to trim, and that's it. Yes. Now as I choose to have this like in a nude or not too colorful pattern like the first one, I can just go ahead and look in my stash to see what do I have in order to decorate. And for sure they need to be like coffee dyed papers or little illustrations or images in this color, a vintage color. And so this will be, you see how old this looks? It's really, really nice. I really like it. All right, so let me see what else do I have here. Oh, I have this like for summer sounds. A rhythm parts. I have all this vintage, really dyed with coffee plays, and then legend, cobalt, tambourine, güiro, and woodblock. This will be the instruments playing. What about this summer sounds? I love this part here that is like ripped, and it gives a beautiful old look. So I can use this part here. Let's see, where can we place this ripped but beautiful thing? And another idea is, even when this is like a vintage or has like this vintage look, you can always go ahead. I don't have my pastels right here now, but I can always go here and give this a little bit of color, like shadows of pink or something cool, you know, a little bit of color. So summer sounds. What about adding only the word sound? Sound. I don't know if there is a place for this. What about having it like all the way going this way? I think it might work. So I didn't want it to get rid of this part, but I'm getting rid of that. But this can be used, of course, for another in another place. All right. So let's place it like in a diagonal line. Summer sounds. I like it. Anyway, summer is around the corner, so nothing wrong with that. Yes. All right. Now, if we want to add a little bit of color, we can always add flowers, because even if the flower, this is a rose I print in my printer, but even when this is not vintage, you can always go with the distress ink and make it look old. So I'm going to try with some hearts from here. Let me grab a complete heart, like it can be this one. Okay, I have that heart, and as you see, it's very, very white. So this is from scrapbooking, like single pages. So I'm going to make it look old before adding the glue, because sometimes it gets really, really messy when you do it like everything at the same time. So let's add the vintage to make it look old. You see the change? It changed immediately. And look at the effect. Isn't that cute? I can always go and use the whole thing. Look, I have like the positive and negative. I like the coffee dye part. Maybe I'm gonna use the whole thing. So I'm checking here, where can I place this heart? It can be, let's say that this can go in here. Yes, I can have it right here or here. Let's have it here in the back. There. And now let's have the heart. And I'm going to put it down so I can see the previous color and the effect of the vintage photo. You see, and in the same way, I can keep adding and adding more and more stuff in order to embellish this project. Here, I see something like popping up. It was like from my orchids, from the drawing, so I want to complete it for it to have sense. I'm going to make a little heart here, and then another heart there, and little dot there, little dot here. So this is to complete the cover. I can probably place another title here, and all these words around here. Let's see what word pops up here. I will create energy. I need to do my personal best by keeping my life simple and full of angel love. That is really nice. Never stop asking I will never stop asking my questions. What about this one? Create energy, keeping life simple and full of angel love. What we can do here is gonna cut. So we're gonna trim this in angelic reflection and it's gonna separate the words like create. This is something you can do, like cutting the quote and just using the most important or relevant words. So I'm gonna use create, and then create my life simple and full of love. This is what I really love from journaling and doing junk journals and scrapbooking. It's like how magical everything is. As I always tell you in here, the phrases, the little paper, the message is always going to appear because the universe knows that you're creating, and then it provides you with, even with a single little small paper that you need, the universe is gonna provide with this. And I'm looking for my tweezers. Here they are. Let me see. Create, it's upside down. Create, create. This says create my life simple. I'm in love with this already. And full of angel love. If you don't want to place angel love, you can just leave it full of love. No, but I'm gonna leave the angel because they came into this video, and so I'm grateful for them to be here guiding this trifold and making it super nice. All right, so let's just go here. I'm gonna also, I can go ahead and add a little bit of vintage on top of that too. All right, so let me just get rid of this and let's go back to the beginning of the video in which I started telling you that you can make a trifold with a page inside, and you can choose any topic, any theme you want. I choose here Be in Nature, and hummingbirds are coming for the month of May, and this is going to go in this pocket here. It's perfect. And then I wanted to show you how to make it step by step so you can make your own trifold, and then I created this with you in this episode. So we have the flipping page, the 3 more pages, and then 3 more pages on the back. Oh, I'm missing the vintage photo in here. How can that be possible? Let's go ahead and do it now. And as I tell you, in this moment, like, never stop creating and never stop adding love and emotions and motivation to your life. In the future, when I bring my pastels and probably color pencils, I can always give this orchid a tiny bit of pink, like a shadows of pink, and also I can give the baby angels a little bit of skin tone so they can look really, really nice. So this is all I have for today. I hope you enjoy this episode, and let me know in the comments below, what do you think about create your life simple and full of angel love? Do you believe in angels? Let me know in the comments down below. And please check it out down here, the making and the embellishing of this amazing mama's journal and this amazing trifold with a flipping page we just finished for this beautiful, interactive, and happy journal I'm making, especially for mamacitas. I see you very soon, and don't go away without subscribing to my channel, leaving me a thumbs up, and also comment down below. I'm gonna link also the playlist of this journal down below in the description box. I see you very soon, my friends. Bye bye. Have fun and take it easy. See you very soon in my next creative episode, of course. Bye, friends. Bye bye.